Welcome to Yak Ratings Eventing Podcast, and we have a bonus British eventing show for you listeners to talk all about a really super little horse that I'm sure a lot of us have seen on social media recently. It was a horse that we all fell in love with at the Voltaire Design Badminton Grassroots Championships. It is the Super Cob that is called Star. And with me today to talk a little bit more about him and why he's so special is his rider, Morven Ritchie. Thank you for coming on the show.
No problem at all.
So, where did your journey start with Star? Because if anybody hasn't seen him, he is the coolest black cob that you have ever seen. And I think that he won everybody's hearts because of just how wonderful he was going around Badminton. He isn't your type of normal event horse that you would typically see, but my gosh, wasn't he fantastic? Now, where did that journey begin with him?
So I got Mikey's a stable name, sorry, and I got him when I was 13. We got him on loan and had him for about 6 months before he came up for sale, which we then obviously bought him. So that's coming up to 8 years now that I've been a partnership with him. We started off doing things like Pony Club, and he's a great all-rounder. He went to local shows, we've done wee bits of showing classes, done a wee bit of mounted games even. He's been in fancy dress costumes and all sorts. He's just such a fantastic little pony that he takes everything in stride. And then through Pony Club, we did a lot of kind of like Pony Club camps and just training days, and we were never planning to take anything seriously at all. But then we obviously saw how good he was and how much potential he had and how much he just loved being out and about, and especially his cross country. It's his absolute favourite. So we then started going to events, and to begin with it was Pony Club one-day events. And then when we started doing really well with them, we decided to affiliate, and we've now been doing BE for I think 4 or 5 years now.
Well, you can clearly see his love for cross country in the video that's been going around and the pictures that have been going around on social media. He looks like he is having the time of his life. Actually, your Instagram has blown up massively, hasn't it, from these pictures?
Yeah, it has. Like, we only made the account a month or two ago, and it was more for myself, just to look back on my badminton journey. And in the last 2 or 3 days, it's went up by about 1,500 followers, which is just mental to me, because for me, Mikey's just my little pony. He stays at home. He's just such an easy little pony. And it's just amazing to see that he's getting the recognition from other people loving him as much as we do.
And talking about your badminton journey, take us through the couple of days that you were up here. What was it like to be at Badminton competing in the grassroots?
It was just a bit of a surreal experience, I suppose. The dressage, we actually went quite well. It was the day before, so I think I wasn't as nervous for it because I tried to just think this is just a dressage competition. I wasn't thinking of being at Badminton. The show jumping, I was absolutely terrified for. I completely let my nerves get the better of me. So we had, I think, 4 poles down, which wasn't great, but I wasn't even bothered at all.
You got round, that was the main thing.
I was just so happy to go into my cross country, and bless him, he normally takes 1 or 2 poles. He's not the best show jumper, he's short coupled, and he just struggles with the striding a little bit sometimes, but normally 1 pole's a good day. Clear rounds are like, oh my god, and so 4 poles was a wee bit much, but then onto cross country, I did find myself quite nervous for it. I've never normally felt nerves for cross country, but just with how technical the course was, I think put a lot of pressure on myself because I wanted to get round Badminton, and obviously we did that, and I was just overwhelmed with emotion at the finish line. I was so happy to just have got round and within the time as well.
Well, it's a whole different atmosphere being up here at Badminton, so I totally see why, you got a bit nervous, because it's not your typical event that you'd go to. And to make the time was really good.
Yeah, definitely. And Mikey's quite a fast wee pony, and apparently if I'd been 1 second faster, I'd have been too fast. So I was quite amazed at that, because I was even coming into the start box, I knew I was nowhere in the placings. I wasn't concerned about that at all. I just wanted round, so I was like, even if we're too slow, I'm not bothered. I just want to get them safely over the finish line. That was my main concern, take them home safely. So then, just coming out the start box, he galloped off, and I was like, he just felt, even after the first couple of fences, my nerves just disappeared because I knew that he's got my back. He helps me out when I need it, basically. So.
Well, cobs aren't slow, listeners. That is fact. Mikey has proven that. And actually, over the couple of days, it was quite a big day for you because you had your 21st birthday. How was that?
The morning of my 21st, I was like, I think I said to multiple people, I was like, this is awful. I can't think of a worse day to like have a 21st. I was so nervous. I felt really ill going into my show jumping. But then after I crossed the finish line and things, it was just amazing, and it was just great to get out and celebrate. And it was. Now I think it's a birthday that I'll never forget. Nobody else can really say that they've had their 21st going around Badminton on their 20-year-old little cob pony. So
it's a really, really cool story. And I bet he didn't feel his age going around there, because 20, that's fantastic to be out eventing still.
No, he definitely doesn't know what age he is. Even coming out of the start box, I had to get my mum to hold him because he has a tendency to rear up with excitement, and he'll sometimes leap out of the start box. So he doesn't know his age, which I love, because he bounces about the place, and then once he's back in the stable, he's just like a wee donkey, and he's just so easy to work with, and you can sit in the stable with him, and he's just lovely.
That's so sweet. He clearly knows his job. And British Eventing are starting a campaign called Cobs Can, and I think that this is such an important campaign, because to go eventing, you don't need to be on your big, flashy warm bloods like a lot of people think you do. And I think that Mikey is a perfect example of that. You managed to qualify for Badminton Grassroots and compete up here and be competitive. And if you go and look at your dressage scores, they are some really smart scores. You're down in like 24s. I mean, I can't get my thoroughbred to go anywhere near that, trust me. And I think that you're a big part of making people aware that you don't have to be on the big flashy horse. Cobs are awesome little eventers. And I think that's an important message we need to get across.
Yeah, definitely. I think just to make sure that people know that, like, everyone has been so supportive of me being on Mikey. The amount of comments we get from people on their big flashy warm bloods, and they're going, "Oh my God, I love your pony." Because I know that the first few events I came to, I was a bit nervous. It was these people on their big 16.2s, and I'm on my wee 14.2 that has more hair than he does height. So, but the amount of people, the amount of support that we've had from people, and people stopping us to say, "Oh, how did you get on? I saw you go round," and that type of thing. It's amazing. So I think if people just, like, if you've got the potential with your horse to do it, it's definitely something worth doing.
And I think that that's why everybody has loved your social media so much, because they see him and you guys are relatable. And I think everybody then goes, "Oh, do you know what? Actually, I could give this a go." Has there ever been a point whilst you've been eventing him that you've thought, "Oh, you know, he can't do it because he's a cob"? Or has it always been, "Yeah, we've got this"?
I think it's always been, "Yeah, we've got this." We've evented a couple of events up to 100 as well, which one of them we did get eliminated from, but it was completely my fault. But no, he's definitely, he's got it all there. And even at his age, like, after COVID, I was kind of like, "Oh, I don't know about bringing him back into eventing." At this point, he was probably 18 maybe. And I just wasn't sure whether he would want to. But then the first event we went to, he was leaping about the full time. He was so excited, on his toes. So he's given me that confidence. I know that he'll take his round, and I think he's always gave me confidence. I've never really felt like I needed to get a thoroughbred or a warm blood. And obviously I've had Mikey for 8 years now, and I've never once thought, "Oh, I need to get something better," because there isn't anything better. So,
well, he does sound like the most awesome horse in the world, and thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story.
No problem at all.
Listeners, I hope you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about Mikey and hearing about the Cobs Can campaign, because it's such an important campaign, and I think that it's important to let everybody know that you can come out and enjoy eventing no matter what horse you've got.